everybody, it's GeekStorm. We're minus a Sean, we're minus a Mike Harrison, but we did you one better. Mike Dukes and Lauren Gray. You can't go wrong with that combination.
Not at all. Not at all.
And we were just talking about Samuel L. Jackson on the bridge of the USS Enterprise. Let that percolate for a little bit. Consider the phrases that could be uttered or screamed at the view monitor. Entertain yourself. That's pretty awesome. So, Lauren, I have not seen you in a while.
I know.
How have you been?
I've been well. How about you? Nice. Yep.
I kind of got married.
Congratulations. This is the first time
you.
I've seen you since it's happened, so that's exciting.
I went geeky. I got a Batman ring. So. Geekery, what have you done geek-like since I've last seen you?
Geek-like? Unfortunately, not a whole lot. The holidays have kind of hindered all of that. I watched Thor.
I still want to see Thor.
And that's about it.
How do you think
bought some board games.
Thor compared to this one compared to the other two?
It is... I like it, but it is definitely a different movie. So Kenneth Branagh definitely had his stamp on the first two with his Shakespearean-esque directing and just this one was more comedic.
That's what I've heard. The funniest Marvel movie to date.
And a lot of people didn't like that aspect of it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a fun movie, but maybe that's just because I wasn't at work and got out of the house, so that could have swayed my opinion of it. But it was fun. I liked it. It was, Marvel. I think Marvel keeps upping the ante with each of their films. This one, it didn't seem like a super high step up from the previous one. But I think it was nice to see, what Thor was doing. I think it sets up nicely for Infinity War. And I look forward to that movie in, May? June?
May? Yes, May.
Yeah, so.
I thought it was interesting because the internet's been exploding, saying, one, funniest Marvel movie ever, and then like you mentioned, some people just weren't having it.
Thor shouldn't be funny. Thor should be.
But now, I just read this morning or last night that Kathleen Kennedy wants that director. She's like, we would love to have him on a Star Wars movie.
But okay, she threw out the last two comedic directors. I don't know.
I
think if any movie was going to have comedy in it in the Star Wars universe, it would be the Han Solo movie. Especially when you have Lando Calrissian in it.
I assume that was part of the reason why they hired those two directors.
Yes.
And then
one could only imagine what happened to get them thrown off that movie, but,
They had to reshoot the whole thing. So somewhere out there's footage I would love to see, just to see why.
What their cut was.
Yeah. And speaking of Star Wars, I got a question for you.
Yes.
I've been mulling this over in my mind. When The Force Awakens was coming out, there was this immense fervor. The fans were just going nuts. Part of it was because it's a new Star Wars movie, a new director.
The first one out of Lucas's hands.
Yeah, out of Lucas's hands, new characters, new everything. It was just bombastic. Everywhere you looked, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. It was an okay movie. I'm not going to say it was great, in my opinion. And now The Last Jedi, which from everything I'm seeing, looks to be pretty awesome. And then the cast has been comparing it to Empire Strikes Back, which in itself
is
was
the greatest ever.
So taking all that into consideration, I'm looking around and I'm just not seeing that same fervor. I don't know if I'm missing it. I mean, there are a lot of sites, every time a new trailer drops, one just dropped this morning. They're getting pumped out there, but I don't know. I'm not seeing that same level of excitement from people. Is it me?
I think it's there. I think part of it is last year, we just came off the election. There wasn't really a whole lot of news around that. Now we have a whole lot of news on the political side of things going on. We also have everything in Hollywood that's going down right now with all of the different accusations. So I think that's probably overshadowing a little bit because everyone's focusing kind of on that rather than, oh, hey, new Star Wars. I don't remember what trailers dropped last year, but this year we just had Infinity War. There's all the controversy surrounding Justice League, and then Justice League came out, and people are calling it a flop, but it's doing really well in Europe and Asia, and so I think that's kind of mired it as well, because they're more focusing on those aspects rather than.
Well, then also there's the downer. Carrie Fisher passed away.
Yes.
So everyone realizes this movie is going to be the last time you're going to see her on screen. So yeah, it's
Plus all of the Han Solo movie
Han Solo
issues.
movie. Yeah, plus
And we are getting, a new Star Wars
every year.
every year for the next, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, however many. They contractually obligated probably for the
Rian
rest of our
Johnson's,
lives.
Going to create a new trilogy, and plus you got the stamp. Yeah, we keep going. And
Especially
going.
if they add in all of the different supplemental material that's not technically canon now. Disney can probably deem it canon.
They're
They
seeding
have
it-
money.
they're seeding that stuff
They can
in,
say
though.
whatever they want. So then you can, spin off into the Yuzhen Vong, the Thrawn
Thrawn
trilogy.
is now
like,
officially a thing. So
oh, there'll be a Thrawn movie.
there's already.
The runtime of The Last Jedi?
It's the longest Star Wars movie.
Is it?
Yeah,
152 minutes.
152 minutes. Yeah.
And
Which
I will be there,
actually-
and I will enjoy all 152 minutes of it.
Rian Johnson said he had to cut a half hour off of it.
Wow. It'll be on the DVD release.
He,
We'll
he
see.
said it will. All the deleted scenes, and actually, I don't know what it was, but he said his favorite scene had to be cut.
Aw.
But he said it's a better movie because of it. It'll be in the deleted scenes, but he said there will not be any kind of
We'll watch it.
director's cut.
If there
that
can
has
be a
everything.
4-hour-long Hobbit, Lord of the Rings movie, you can make as long as you want Star Wars, and people will buy it, and people will watch it in the comfort of their own home.
Star Wars. Have you seen the latest Star Wars trailers?
I have not. I tried to stay away because I kind of want to be surprised.
Because there's so little information coming out, I mean, they're doing a really good job on the secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
I pre-ordered the soundtrack and the track listings.
Track 1.
Track listing unavailable, unavailable, unavailable. So you see how many tracks are on there, and that's it. Because when Force Awakens came out, you could see the names, and people were picking things out. So because of that lack of information, people are just dying and trying to create things out of possibly nothing.
Oh, so yeah, theories are abound.
In any given movie, the hero loses their weapon. There lies an enemy's weapon. They'll pick it up, use it, no one blinks. One of the most recent trailers at the very end, Rey, you can't see who's surrounding her, but you can see she's surrounded by some people. I'm assuming the Knights of Ren or maybe some Praetorian guards. She reaches out, pulls a lightsaber to her hand, and it's Kylo Ren's lightsaber. So people are freaking out. Rey's gonna turn to the dark side.
I've heard that. I've heard Luke's going to turn to the dark side. Luke's going to be a gray Jedi. Rey's going to be a gray Jedi. Like, there's so many theories about what can take place. I'm just excited to see what actually is going to happen and who is right, who is wrong.
It is nice to have that unknown factor, because anymore, so many movies, the trailers tell you the whole story.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of which,
Or all the good parts were in
Yeah.
the trailer, and then you get to see the movie, you're so disappointed.
did you see the Jurassic World trailer that dropped last night?
I didn't see the actual official one. I saw the one with Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt sitting with some YouTube
Zach King.
assist guy. I saw that part.
It dropped last night, and here's my thing about Jurassic Park. When the first one hit, no one had seen anything like it.
Yes, that's true.
It was amazing. Dinosaurs done well on screen. You've never seen that before.
Practical effects.
Yeah.
Like,
When the sequel came out, you'd seen it. There wasn't a whole lot new. And then you had a third one, and then you got the whole thing of, why do you keep doing this if you know this is gonna bad things are gonna happen? Why do you keep doing it?
yes.
Jurassic World goes back to that island, and again, things go bad. So you would think that would be the end of it, and no. Now, with this sequel, they're going back again to that island, because this time, apparently there's a volcano, it's going to erupt. So now it's a matter of saving species. So there's even a courtroom thing. Jeff Goldblum, they bring him in.
Of course he is.
Yeah. You know,
Nature
do these creatures have
finds
a
a way.
right to life? So it's kind of interesting.
Is he reprising his role?
Yeah.
As good old, Malcolm?
Malcolm.
Good old Malcolm.
But
I'm
seeing,
excited to see it, but Jeff Goldblum cracks me up.
seeing all the dinosaurs, there are some new types of dinosaurs, and it's always neat to see the effects. But at the same time, you're kind of like, why?
But we still go see the movie.
We still go see it.
We all still went and saw Jurassic World when it came out, even though we had already seen Jurassic Park. I did like the twist they put on it, though. The evil scientist wants the money, so yeah, we're gonna turn it into a theme park. I totally believe society would do that.
I could see that, yeah.
Like, I totally believe that would happen.
And I mean, theoretically, like right now, our president is wanting to take away protections from a number of different species. So when you got a movie, you have groups saying, we've brought them back. They are species. They died once. Do we want to let them die again? I can see that happening.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, I admit, I'll go see it.
I will, too. I'll go see it.
EW Magazine had some photos of the new X-Men movie with a Phoenix. Did you see those?
Yes, I did. I'm torn. I love the Phoenix. That is my comic book character. And X2 and X3 just sorely disappointed me. So I'm really, really nervous about this coming movie.
This is one I think this about most movies anymore. It shouldn't be a movie. It should be something on Netflix, HBO, Showtime. Make it into a mini-series.
Absolutely.
So you've got time to draw this out. You need time to know Jean Grey before you can actually feel anything when she becomes Phoenix. Not just have her pop up
she's
in
gonna
one movie, and then,
Phoenix.
hey, she's on fire. Oh, no.
Yep.
I mean, Olivia Munn hinted that it was going to be 2 movies, but I haven't seen anything official about that. And then these photos.
Well, but still, like, that entire storyline will take time to develop. And I get that they don't want to do the whole where the Phoenix came from.
Yeah, the whole outer
and
space.
The whole
Although
outer
there
space,
is an
kill
outer
a
space
planet.
scene, so then
We'll see what they do. I'm not holding my breath that it will be a great movie. I'll still probably go see it just to see what's going on about. I saw that Jessica Chastain, her character, is still unknown. They haven't named it. They just said she is an otherworldly shapeshifter with blonde hair. So we'll see. We'll see what that news has to come about.
got a lot of superhero movies coming out. A lot. And speaking of which, Justice League, not doing great. Just crossed
Stateside.
just crossed 200 million here domestic, but overseas in Asia it's over 350 million. Well, that's not enough for Warner Brothers. They were, from the beginning, after Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad, they got skittish. And they made Zack Snyder alter a number of things. And then the head of Warner Brothers also came down and said, 2 hours only. Do not go over 2 hours. Which, for a movie like Justice League, when you're bringing in new characters, you kind of need that time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, and when you have all of those characters in one space trying to tell a gigantic story that you need to tell with all of those different characters.
And then Joss Whedon came in. They wanted him to make it a little more funny. So watching the movie, it felt disjointed. They said you wouldn't be able to tell, a Snyder scene versus a Whedon. I could tell.
I'm sure you could. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure you could. It
has not done well. To our point of view, that's a lot of money. It did well. To their point of view, they were expecting 600 million easy, and it hasn't reached that. It hasn't made the domestic amount that Suicide Squad or Batman vs. Superman made. So now, reports are that Warner Brothers is doing a complete shakeup. They've already removed the head producer for all the DC films. No replacement as yet. Jeff Johns may be stepping up a little bit in regards to exactly what he does with movies. Mainly, he's just been over comic books and television. A little bit had his toe in the water regarding movies. But now they're saying, and this is kind of coinciding with other rumors that have been swirling around, that in the Flash movie, that will be Ben Affleck's last turn as Batman.
That's not surprising, though. He's been pretty vocal about that for a while, that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Well, George Reeves, the guy doing the Batman movie, flat out said his dream casting is Jake Gyllenhaal. And he's kind of, I think, writing that movie around the idea that Jake Gyllenhaal's going to be Batman. I mean, theoretically, if you could go with comic book reasoning, because they're already saying that the Flash movie is going to be called Flashpoint.
Oh.
Which means the Flash is going to go back in time to save his mother, and then it alters all of history.
Yes.
So when he comes back, if it's not Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and it's another actor, movie logic.
Magic reset button.
But after Wonder Woman did as well as it did, I think that caused them to get shook up a little bit and think, oh my God, we need to do something with Justice League. It didn't quite work out. And
I think they should have delayed the movie. I don't think they should have released it in November. They should have just waited until they made sure that they fixed everything they wanted to fix, test it with a few test audiences, and release it, I don't know, in the spring, right before all the summer blockbusters hit, or make it try to compete with all the other summer blockbusters the next year.
And plus, I think that they were banking on, the previous 2 Thor movies did okay, but they weren't like big money makers. Ragnarok made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that immediately, that was still in people's minds. And then to go see Justice League and,
Well, and they had all of that negative controversy surrounding it going into it, so, that made people wary about, do I really want to see this movie?
That's why I kind of miss about when you didn't have the internet. All you had were entertainment magazines. And what you were getting in regards to information was a month or 2 old by the time you actually got it.
Yeah.
Now, you're getting information as it happens, and a lot of times it's colored by people's opinions. It doesn't matter. The news travels, and before you know it, that colored opinion becomes fact. People decide, no, I'm not going to see that movie now. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Speaking of messed up, Quentin Tarantino has pitched a Star Trek idea for the next Star Trek movie, and they liked it.
Yes.
That
I would have never have thought in my lifetime I would have seen that just article. Quentin Tarantino wants to do a Star Trek. J.J. Abrams said, okay. They said, yep, well, it can be rated R. Okay, I'm down. I like Tarantino. I like Star Trek.
Yeah,
Let's see where it goes.
I'm all for it. I mean, that could be the most interesting thing ever. I could breathe a lot of new life into this. It's just, it's one of those combinations you're like, what?
Yes.
Rated R, huh? Because I know with Star Trek Discovery, there was a big uproar because they uttered one curse word. And people were saying, that's not Star Trek. That would never happen.
I think you're going to get a lot of cuss words with this one. Maybe some gore, I don't know. I think it's interesting because you might have a lot of people who are fans of Tarantino who maybe have never seen Star Trek at all, and that might bring them over to that fandom. Conversely, you might have a lot of Star Trek people who have never seen a Tarantino film and will be very surprised when they see this one. So, it'll...
I'm actually surprised because if you, go back and look at the uproar over Star Trek Discovery and Orville. And Star Trek fans just going nuts.
You can't have off-color humor in a science fiction
Can't happen.
television show.
And yet I've heard nothing. I mean, the articles have come out. Tarantino has pitched an idea for a Star Trek movie. They liked it so much, they've applied writers to it. Okay. J.J. Abrams and Paramount both said, give it a thumbs up for a possible R rating. Okay. I've heard no negativity.
Well, I think maybe... Because when I first saw it, I thought it was like a joke, or like, oh, Quentin Tarantino was just talking with somebody like, hey, I'd like to do a Star Trek movie.
Honestly, when I first
Kind of like
saw
how
it, I thought some reporter was walking by and heard him on the red carpet say, I'd like to do Star Trek. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
No, it's real.
But apparently it's real, and I will put my money down and go see it.
I'm all for it.
Yep.
Is it just going to be a story by Tarantino? Or
He may direct it.
I think he wants to do the whole thing.
He's only doing 2 more
His
films
whole-
and he's retiring. So.
Well, right now, because they said right now he's working on the Manson family movie, and by the time it's written, he should be done with that and can move right into the Star Trek movie. Whether that happens or not, who knows? I'd like to see it.
I think a Star Trek movie as his final piece would be interesting.
Definitely
His
memorable.
send-off, oh yeah.
What did you think of the Infinity War trailer?
I loved it. I was like, yeah, let's go watch it right now. I'm excited. Sad I have to wait until May, but
It's very impressive.
oh yes, yes.
Yeah,
And you have everybody in there.
Yeah.
Brought the Guardians in. We brought, you name it, they're in there. So
It was funny because leading up to it, the Russo brothers were putting little hints on their Instagram. They would have a cartoony number representing the number of days until the trailer hit. And they started showing reaction videos to previous Marvel movies as a build-up to try and get people to have reaction videos for when they saw. A lot of reaction videos, and I admit I got cold chills.
Oh,
My
yeah.
hair stood up because Marvel just does what they do so well. I mean, there are so many ways. Look at Justice League again. There are so many ways a movie like this with so many characters could go tragically wrong. But they have slowly built this up, movie after movie after movie. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like a natural thing. And man, I can't wait to see it. The visuals on this are
oh yeah.
exquisite.
Which is why I don't understand why DC hasn't taken a page out of the Marvel book. Like, if you just stand aside and look from Iron Man all the way, like, just through the years. Granted, Marvel does have a few years on them, head start, but if you just watch what they do, like, the cookie cutter copy.
The impression
Copy
I
paste
got
with DC
was
characters.
that was their first thought. Let's do what they're doing. But then someone decided, well, we don't want to copy them because then we'll be called out for copying them. What if?
That's how you make money, though.
What if we throw them all together first, then do the solo movies?
But then you exclude people who have never known any of these characters outside of what, you know, like Superman and Batman, but any of the other characters, you exclude them, and they're like, well, who's this robot guy? Who's this?
That's another
like,
thing about Justice League. A lot of the scenes that you saw in the trailers were not in the movie. So you got to see a bit of an origin on Cyborg. It was filmed. Same thing, you saw Barry Allen save Iris. It was in the trailer, not in the film. So all these different scenes were completely cut out to meet that 2-hour mark. I personally want to see the Zack Snyder full movie. I think it would be superior to what is currently in theaters. That's just me. I know with Batman vs. Superman, had a lot of haters. And then when they put out the director's cut, which is like 3 hours long, it didn't convert a lot of people, but there were a number. Harrison was one of them who admitted it filled in a lot of blanks that were there and
so
made more sense.
I didn't watch it in the theaters. I actually watched it after the movie released, and I watched the 3-hour version, and I didn't think it was that terrible that everybody was talking about. But I didn't see the theatrical version, so
I saw
like
both.
it wasn't my favorite movie, but I was like, it's not terrible.
I liked it. I got to see Batman be Batman. I mean, that was really the first time Batman versus Superman, when he's taking on that warehouse of thugs to save Martha Kent. Every movement, that was Batman. It's the first time you really got to see that, and not just some guy desperately trying to move in a rubber suit. And say what you will about the take on Superman, I get that too. If you took it real world and had an alien with these powers trying to figure it out, he wouldn't automatically be a goody two-shoes. He would be trying to struggle with it and figure it out. That was one thing about Justice League. Apparently dying and coming back washes away all your sins and you're all happy-go-lucky afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a traumatic experience that would probably make you reevaluate some things. With Superman, I don't know. It was the ending of the movie really did. Like I said, the movie wasn't terrible, but the whole Martha thing, I was just like, really? I don't like it. Yeah, I was just like, no. I think a lot of people didn't like, because I don't think that translated. What you said about Superman, I don't think it translated well, that he was trying to figure everything out. It was just I'm Superman.
I know immediately.
Super powerful. Oh, everybody's going to hate me because I'm super powerful.
The scene where Clark saves the kid, and Man of Steel saves the kids in the buses going in the water.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Pa Kent he's like, what was I supposed to do? Let him die? Maybe. That line right there caused a huge uproar. Paul Key would never say that. So this little stuff like that, I think people were so consumed with, that's not our Superman, they didn't really stop to put it together and think about it. And
be a new version. I can see that. That's a good point.
But now with Justice League, the newly revived Superman is very much back to the happy,
hey guys,
yeah, the Boy Scout kind of guy. I mean, come on, they had 2 after-credit scenes, and one of them was him and Flash deciding they're going to race to see who's fastest, just joking around.
Who won?
Oh no, they're not going to tell you who won.
Oh, okay.
You see him take off, and then that's
that
where
was
it.
it?
Yeah. Are you okay? You've got kids.
I do.
Have you had to watch Mulan?
We've watched it a few times, actually, yeah.
What do you think about the fact that they're doing a live-action version of Mulan?
Well, I kind of figured it would happen since they're doing a live-action Lion King. I figured we're about to have a whole lot of live-action. Beauty and the Beast started, now Lion King, now Mulan. I don't know what the movie after Mulan that Disney did was, but
I don't know.
I assume that we're just going to go down the line. I'll watch it.
Someone brought up a good point. I mean, like you mentioned, Justice League hasn't done well here, but in Asia it's done incredibly well. The actress that they hired, I'm going to screw this name up completely, Louis Yifi, is the top actress in China. And they've cast her as Mulan, so I think that's a key move on their part, because automatically you're going to just, in droves, you're going to get all Chinese audiences, probably repeat viewings. And then, I don't know, I'm not a big Disney fan. Was the movie really that popular here?
Yeah, I liked it. Mulan was kind of after my Disney, younger days, but I think they're now hitting the audience who watched Mulan when they were little
kids.
They're now probably in their mid-20s. Yeah, probably mid-20s would be about right, because it came out in 97.
Well, I figured that was a large bit of the audience from Beauty and the Beast.
So, and that's why I went to Beauty and the Beast, because that was my favorite Disney movie growing up. So, I, of course, went to go see it, and I was a little disappointed by it, but you're not going to capture that same magic. And I think now they're like, okay, this group of people who were this age when Mulan came out, they're now this age. Some of them will probably have kids, and let's usher that money into our pockets.
They're going to want to relive the excitement they had as kids
absolutely.
and introduce their own kids. Win-win. Disney, man.
They know their stuff. They know.
And did you see that it went from rumor to, oh no, it happened, and now it stopped, and now it's happening again, apparently. Because as of last night, they said they're expecting an announcement next week about the buyout of Fox.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's
That's
wow. I mean, it would be great because forever, once we started getting these Marvel movies and the Avengers,
get all those
everyone
characters back.
kept wanting to see Wolverine in that universe. If this happens, done deal. I mean,
we could probably get a actual Fantastic Four movie that's good.
Fantastic Four that doesn't suck. I didn't think it could exist either, but it might. I mean, Fantastic Four, all the X-Men.
Every bit of random name they own, like the planet fiasco with Guardians of the Galaxy, that will all come about. I mean, they have the money to do it.
But at the same time, how much time would they have to let pass? Because, I mean, we've got the Phoenix movie coming out. How much time would you have to let pass before you...
I know. I say work on it immediately.
Reboot.
I say start on it, put their own spin on it. People will go see it.
I mean,
They will want to see what Disney can do with
theoretically, it's
those
what happened
characters.
with Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, you're done. Get this kid, we're putting him in a Marvel movie. It worked.
Yep.
I'm all for
I
it.
say they do it immediately. Let's go.
Find out next week. See you then.
Bye.